Good morning. I'm just going to grab water. I'll be right back. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, so we're gonna start in, how's everyone doing? Happy June, as if it's June. That's all I have to say about that. Okay, so we're gonna start sitting. So if you need something to, you can sit in a chair, that's fine too. But if you need something to elevate your hips a little bit, that would be, maybe that would be ideal. So just coming into any variation, really, if it's comfortable to sit with your legs out in front of you, or if your legs are wide and that's comfortable, or even out to the side, that's always available. Shins or cross-legged. Really just find anything, anywhere where you can come to sitting and find the length to your spine. And when you get there, maybe just take a moment and just start to do some rotation through the low back and through the belly. Just kind of moving around, feeling the weight of the body into the sit bones. And then change your direction. And then moving through cat and cow, so just flexing and extending the spine, just getting a little bit of movement through the spine. Tucking the chin and the tailbone and opening up through the chest. Drawing the belly in and softening the belly forward. And then as you rise up tall, just feel the weight of the legs for a moment. Just kind of feel any of the sensations or energy moving from that movement. Perhaps closing your eyes, resting your hands on your lap or anywhere that's most comfortable for them. Wherever it feels as though you can just find a comfortable length to your spine, as if reaching up through the crown of your head. Just beginning to gather your attention inward. Softening the jaw and the throat, just allowing the breath to be relaxed, natural, with ease. Taking an observation of the neck. Notice how the shoulders are resting. Do they feel as though they're rounding forward or opening back? Is there a sense of engaging through shoulders or lifting to ears? Or are they feeling though the upper arm bones are just resting heavy at your sides? And can you spend the next few breaths just feeling into the spaciousness of the upper back and chest? the space from your chest to your upper back, from shoulder to shoulder. Feel the space that exists in the upper chest. And then drop your chin down towards your chest. Feel as though you could lengthen up through the back of your neck just slightly. And then roll your chin from shoulder to shoulder. And pausing on one side with the ear reaching towards the shoulder, maybe lifting the nose, the chin slightly towards the sky and extending that opposite arm, reaching it out towards the floor beside you. Nice. Turn that palm that's reaching out and away. Can you turn that up towards the sky? Take your opposite hand that is resting, just reach it towards the floor beside you. That hand that's reaching with palm up, lift that up towards the sky, and we'll come into a side bend here. So just reaching, and use that hand that's pressing into the floor as a bit of an anchor to lift and open the chest. Feel rooted through the sit bones, just breathing into the side of the body here. And then inhale, come up tall, and just allow the arms to rest again. Just take a notice of the space of the upper back and shoulders. Just breathe into the fullness here. And then drop your ear to the opposite shoulder. Extend that opposite arm. Palm is facing down. Just adjusting the hand and the neck and just taking some long, slow breaths here. Turn that palm up towards the sky. Opposite hand just reaches to the floor beside you. Inhale, come on up and over to a side bend. Again, maybe using that as a little bit of an anchor to leverage and give you a little bit of lift. And then inhale, come all the way up tall. Arms rest at your side. Just notice the shoulders again. Start to just roll one shoulder at a time up towards your ear and back. And just nice and slow, finding as though you could reach the shoulder blade way back and kind of squeeze and hug it towards the spine, towards the ear and back towards the spine. Nice big circles with just the one shoulder. And then let that relax. Just take a full breath into the chest and the upper back. And then finding that on the other side, shoulder rolls here. Shoulder up towards the ear and shoulder blade back towards the spine. Nice full circle. And then release that. Let both shoulders relax. Take an inhale and feel as though you could send energy down towards your base. And then on your exhale, feel the energy rise up through the body, up through the crown of your head. Inhale, energy down. Exhale, energy rises. Bring both hands out to your side, palms facing up. And then start to lift up through the chest here. Draw the shoulder blades back. Kind of send the thumbs back behind you. Gaze up towards the sky. And then we'll exhale, reach the arms up and forward. And draw the belly in. So like you were creating a cat position, draw your chin in towards your chest, reach forward. And then inhale, arms come up. And lift the chest, arms reach out to your side so the palms will face up. So basically a cat and cow here, just with the arms. So reaching forward, inhale, lift up, open chest, open heart. A little bit of a back bend. You can start to bring this into your low back as well. Next time you're open with the arms out to the side, turn the palms down, reach back behind you as if you were going to clasp your hands. Reach them back, send the fingertips down towards the floor, roll the shoulders back. And then if it feels available, can you clasp your hands, open up through the chest, hinge at the hips, long spine, reaching the crown of your head forward, maybe knuckles up towards the sky, or just continuing with that reach back behind you. And then again, inhale, reach the arms all the way up towards the sky. Just pause here for a moment. And again, find inhale as you root down. Exhale, send energy up. Turn towards your right side. Let your right hand come behind you. Left hand to your thigh or your knee. Turning into a twist. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, gazing over that shoulder. Inhale, rising back through center, both arms reaching up here. Exhale, press the palms back and behind you like you're going to clasp. Maybe you do clasp, maybe you just reach. As you lengthen through the spine, you can clasp the hands and fold forward, send knuckles to the sky. And then again, inhale, rise up towards the sky, fingertips, sides of the body long. Turn towards your left into your twist to the left side. Rooting down, rising up, turning to gaze over that opposite shoulder. Nice, and then unwind and just come back to center. We'll turn over here into tabletop. So spreading the fingers really wide, pressing through the finger mounds underneath the nails. So kind of gripping into the fingers, you spread them wide into the knuckles, and then tuck your toes under and just push yourself back towards your heels. So giving the toes and the ankles a little bit of a stretch, and then coming forward, maybe a little bit beyond the wrists, and then going to move back. And then we'll start to just kind of circle that around a little bit. Moving through the wrists. So that grip into the fingertips, kind of this sense of pushing the earth away and rising a little bit out of the wrists. And change your direction. All right, and then from here, as you move into tabletop, can you press through and puff up in the upper back area, and then let the chest collapse and come down and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Push the shoulder blades apart and then draw them together. So kind of like a cat and cow, just in the upper back for a moment. and then can you push that away and kind of stabilize in the upper back and find that tuck and tilt to just your tailbone. And it's going to be pretty small. Notice, try to keep it out of the mid-back just to really localize movement in your pelvis. And then take that through your whole spine into cat and cow. And then when you're ready, find a neutral spine here. Push the floor away, a little bit of space between the shoulder blades. Engage through the low belly and lift your knees to a hover. So holding here, knees only a couple inches off the floor, and can you find cat and cow from here? So just inhaling to open, exhale, pushing away. You can always bring your knees back down if this isn't feeling great for you. And then come down, send your knees wide, reach your arms out in front of you and come back towards a child's pose. Forehead lands, take a few breaths here. Come on back up to tabletop. Knees underneath the hips. Reach your right heel back behind you. The toes are tucked under, just long through that leg. You can move a little bit forward and back just to stretch to the back of the leg. And then slide that leg out and out to your right side. You can press through the outer edge of your foot. Maybe your left knee steps a little bit wider and you're moving back towards a child's pose here with the one leg extended out. So you may come to your elbows, you may just push yourself back. You may even land your forehead on your hands, just feeling a stretch to the inner thigh here. You can always explore. Sometimes I find lifting the toes up towards the sky and dropping the hips back feels good. So just feel free to kind of move around through that. And then coming back towards tabletop. So with that right leg still reaching out, swing it around back behind you. And then bend the knee so the sole of the foot comes to the sky. And then we're going to take some pulses here, pressing the sole of the foot up towards the sky. And when you do that, you may check in, still stabilizing through the low back. So this movement is happening from the bum muscle here. Maybe you can bring it towards you, towards your elbows, towards your chest, round through the spine. Send it back up towards the sky, but without this arching or collapsing in the low back. So rounding forward, then pressing up. And then relax that down. Just move from side to side for a moment. And extend your left leg out. Maybe the right leg knee goes a little wider, hips come back. Nice wide leg child's pose on the one side. You can always lift your toes to the sky or plant through the sole of that foot. A few breaths here. Coming back up to table, lengthen that leg back behind you. We'll just press back through the heel for a moment. Do that on the beginning here. Just kind of rolling over the toes. All right, and then bending through that knee, sole of the foot to the sky. Again, just check in with your upper body and the hands here. If this is uncomfortable, you can always come down to forearms. But just taking care of those wrists and then pressing the sole of that foot towards the sky. You can just keep this in with the leg, stabilizing through the low back and core, or draw the knee towards the belly and round the spine. Press it to the sky. And then relax that knee down, just a little wiggle from side to side again. All right, reaching your right arm forward. Draw a big circle up towards the sky, so you're rotating to open through the chest and the heart. Reach your arm, that arm back towards your hips, towards your feet, and just draw a full circle here. So you're gonna reach forward, creating some rotation as you reach back. Allow your spine to move with that, your chest to open. And then come up towards the sky, reach up. And then on your exhale, feed that arm underneath your left side. And come onto the back of that arm. You can reach your left arm forward. So moving through a little rotation through spine as well. So lift, landing somewhere where the head and the upper arm bone and shoulder can land here. Hips up towards the sky. Breathing here. And then unwind that, bring it back through center. Extend your knees back behind you a little bit so you're in a longer table. And then just start to drop your hips forward and pull the hips back. So just kind of moving through shoulders and hips here towards like a cobra or an upward facing dog. And pressing back towards a child's pose. So you can add a little bit of movement to your spine, going as far as is comfortable. Not just dumping and collapsing into the low back. So staying fairly active through the tips of those fingers, rolling shoulders back. And then coming back towards neutral table. Check in with the right hand, pushing down, left reaches forward. And we're going to start to create those large circles as you reach back towards the hips and the feet. And down towards the floor and forward. So finding as much movement in the shoulder and shoulder blade as you can here, rotating through the spine. Just following the hand as you move around with your gaze. And then next time you reach up towards the sky, take a full in-breath. And then exhale, feed that underneath your right arm, reaching, landing onto the outer edge of that arm bone. The head lands down. Right arm might reach forward. And just taking a few breaths here. Nice, unwinding from that. Come back to tabletop. Reset your imprint down into the fingertips, into the palms of the hands. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, push the floor away so you're rounding a little bit through the upper back, or you're engaging through the shoulders. Keep the knees where they are. Can you start to push your hips back towards your heels? Push through your arms. Your head's going to come in the space between your arms. And then when you're ready, lift your hips, come on up into a downward facing dog. Start to move around a little bit, wiggle the hips, bend the knees. Recheck in with those fingers and hands. The head relaxed. Maybe lifting the heels and dropping the heels down. Take your time. Slowly start to walk your feet towards your hands, just until it feels like you can't really go any further. Really pushing into those hands, and then start to walk your feet back. Back towards your downward facing dog. Start to walk your hands towards your feet. We will come into a forward fold here, so bend your knees. Start to bend your knees so that you can root the weight down into the feet, down into the heels. Let your head relax, just swaying from side to side. Toes to heels. Let's take an inhale, hands to upper thighs. Chest is long, knees bent. Crown of the head reaching forward, shoulders rolling back here. And then exhale, come back down into your forward fold. Take your time, press into your feet, bend your knees, round your spine, and slowly come up to standing. Tucking the chin, head comes up last. And then all the way up into your mountain posture. So take a moment and just land through your feet, maybe rock from side to side on your feet or toes to heels. And rolling the shoulders back. Standing up nice and tall for a moment here. Let's take an inhale, rise the palms up towards the sky. Reach all the way up. Gaze up between the hands. Exhale, bring the hands back down at your side. We'll just do that a few times. Inhale, rising up. Gaze up. Exhale, hands down at your side. And bringing hands to heart center. Weight over into your left foot. Beginning to lift your right foot up. Just coming into balancing here. Just allow your right foot to just kind of rest out in front of you. You can always kick the leg forward. You can bring it out to the side or bring it into a tree posture by pressing the foot down against your opposite leg. You can always hold that other foot as well. Or the foot can always touch the floor. Just taking a moment to check in on balance here. And then allowing that to rest down. Releasing, inhale, full breath in, arms reach up, gaze up. Exhale, hands down at your side. Hands to heart center. Rooting through the right, lifting the left foot. Knee can just hover and float, leg can extend. And bring it out to the side, or bring that foot to rest and press against your right leg as you root down through the right leg. Relaxing through the shoulders. And then release all that back down towards the floor. Coming into your mountain posture here. We'll take a few energizing breaths together. So we'll inhale as you reach forward and come up. And then exhale, come to like a forward fold like you were sighing it out. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Just let the arms swing at your side. Let your exhales release. Let your inhales be full and rooted. Slow it down. One last time. Inhale, reach all the way up. Feel that full vertical space. Step your feet just a little bit wider. Hands a little bit wider here. Just feel yourself take up some space. Exhale, just let your arms float down to your sides. And just bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. Just feeling the aliveness of your breath. If your breath is moving at a faster pace, just bringing it to a nostril breath. Just slow that down. Feeling the breath moving into the back of the body and rooting you down into the feet. And then take a full breath into the space for your body. Exhale, release that. Bringing hands and feet together. Hands at your heart. Feel a rootedness down through the feet and length and arising up through the crown of your head. Another full breath in here. And exhale, release. Thank you for sharing your practice. Have a beautiful day wherever you are at any point in your day. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.